excited to see you guys here, and I'm excited to bring out our next guest. Of course, you guys should know the drill by now. There's microphones there, boom, and there. And I'm going to ask you to line up, get your questions ready. Please, please, please keep it a one question per person. Make it an actual question and no special requests. And you probably heard me say this a couple times. I love you, Orlando. I'm from Orlando originally, but Orlando, don't get too weird on me, all right? And also, yeah, I think those are the basic house rules, and we're going to get this thing going. I want you to make a lot of noise, of course. You know her from, let's see, many shows: Leverage, Shark, Bosch, Spotty Approved, Boston Public, and of course you know her from 103 episodes of Star Trek Voyager. I want you to make some noise for Jeri! So, of course, you were part of this iconic show with a massive following and a legacy behind it.
Star Wars?
Wait,
wrong one.
I was actually going to say, tell me about your episode of Murder, She Wrote. Because you did do an episode of Murder, She Wrote.
I did. I have absolutely no memory of it. To be perfectly honest. I think it was... I'm about 99% sure it was right after I had my son, who's now 22. And so had just had my son, and I was back home in Chicago, and my agent called and she's like, I know you're supposed to technically be on maternity leave, but could you fly out to do this part? And I was like, okay. So I literally was like, yeah, it was not pretty.
The Murder, She Wrote memory right there. Well, I know that I read, and please correct me if I'm wrong, that you weren't necessarily a big Star Trek fan growing up. However,
very diplomatically put.
However, when was the moment for you when it really kind of clicked as far as the message and the meaning of this show and this entire universe? When did it click for you?
Pretty early on in my first season of the show, honestly, because, come on, it was a really rich character, and she was so beautifully written. I mean, I was very, very lucky the way they wrote her.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved, my single favorite thing about it, I would say, was that they were not afraid to show the gray area. It wasn't, okay, Starfleet is up there on Janeway's on her white horse, and they're all perfect, and the Borg are all evil. They showed the gray area in between, where, okay, yes, the Borg took away my choice, but then you just did the same thing. Not you personally. You representing Janeway. The Janeway did the same thing and took that choice away from Seven again. And so I love that they show that everything is not black and white. And I think that was when I really started to really appreciate it.
Well, and I don't think, there are some other actors out there, but I don't think most of us can really appreciate the pressure that you're under when you're entering into a show after it's already been on for a few seasons. There's the pressure of joining the cast, but also, for the character in particular, the pressure of sort of representing the quest to find humanity. I mean, the message itself, your character sort of represented a message. On that level, did you feel pressure as well?
Yes, but fortunately, because I wasn't that familiar with Star Trek before, I didn't really realize how much pressure there was when I was first starting it. And that way, I think there's plenty of other pressure. But that particular pressure, I wasn't really aware of when I first started, which I think was a good thing.
Kind of hit a little bit later.
Yeah.
All right. And then it's like, oh crap, there's a lot of pressure.
I didn't have to worry about too. Great.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and throw it to the audience. I'm going to start with you right there. Yeah. All right, you're up.
Hi.
Hi, Mr. Ryan. I have a question about an episode that you did of Star Trek.
No, I'm sorry.
No. There's an episode you guys basically they land. You find this. You and Janeway go to this sort of science lab, and there's these scientists there that have managed to do these marvelous things that nobody else has been able to do. And basically, Voyager would like their your information. But it's like a trade-off deal, and there's this whole list of things on the list. And one of the things on the list is that they would like 7 of 9. Of course, Janeway says no and denies it. But if the roles were reversed and 7 of 9 was the captain and Janeway was on the list, would you give up Janeway as a crewmate?
Honestly, I want to watch it. That's just really interesting. I have no memory of this episode at all. That wasn't a think tank, was it?
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
it was?
yes.
Oh, so I have no memory. This is Jason Alexander. That was his episode, right? Okay. But wasn't 7 weren't they kind of torn because 7 wasn't sure if she had kind of like might want to join? Because wasn't it like that was sort of the quest for perfection in a way, and these were like the greatest minds of the galaxy or something like that?
Yes.
Wasn't that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, but she hadn't known that was sort of the decision on the list when they had come to present Janeway with the list. So just in that sort of scene where they present Janeway with the list, they presented the 7 and 9 there. So like we should have made the decision to turn Janeway over, or we should have denied it at that point. Sorry, you're talking the microphone.
No, I'm kidding. And no, probably not. I mean, I don't specifically remember the context, but no. Well, let me preface this by saying it depends how far along in her journey toward humanity 7 was at that point. Because if it was early on in the journey, then of course she would. So, yeah, that's a no-brainer. Of course she would get rid of one person for the good of everyone. Later on, she obviously would not. So I guess it depends on where she was in that arc.
There you go. All right.
How about that? Didn't think I was going to get that intellectual, did you?
I'm actually impressed that you, out of all the episodes, that you're able to still pinpoint not just the episode.
I'm impressed that I remembered a name of an episode.
That was good.
Any of them. That was impressive.
Look, I was on that show. That is true.
But that's what I was thinking. I was like, in this episode, you kept saying the character's name, so I didn't think I was in it. But I actually remember the name of that episode.
I know,
Which is
it's-
weird, because I don't know any of them.
That's impressive. Hi.
Hello, Jeri.
Hi.
Good to see you again. You were great at MegaCon. Welcome to Orlando. Heard some stories from some of your co-stars on Voyager of pranks and shenanigans going on set. Were you involved in any of these things? Do you have a favorite story? And did anything like that happen on any of your other work?
Pranks and shenanigans.
Yeah, this was the orneriest cast in the world, these boys. They were so much fun and just hysterically funny all the time. But yeah, they were big prankers. I don't remember, they were jokesters. I don't remember specific pranks so much. But the joking was constant, and the farts, and this, and the dancing, and the just crazy crap that these guys did all the time. They were hilarious. The only prank-wise, the only thing I was ever involved in was an episode, I don't know what it was, maybe Year of Hell, but I'm not sure, where the ship was kind of falling apart for some reason, and Tuvok was blind. Does this ring a bell?
Yeah, that's Year of Hell. You got it.
What was it?
Year of Hell. You were right.
It was Year of Hell.
Yeah.
That's never probably happened. Anyway, but there was a scene where Seven had to like guide him down the hallway because he's blind and he can't see. Well, which means that he can't see. They say pipes hanging from the ceiling, and they like coil the set dressing that's like hanging down. So a couple times might have accidentally steered him into a few of those. He was blind, couldn't see. I didn't say it was nice. It was a prank. But anyway.
That's really just a small revenge to pay back for all the
Yes.
farts into the dancing
Yes.
and the rights.
Yes.
Yeah, you know.
Well, they told some stories about you, too.
Thanks.
Hi, Jerry. My name's Dwayne. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Dwayne.
I just want to know, I loved you in Leverage.
Oh, thank you. That was fun.
Which guy did you think you liked the most on Leverage?
Which guy did I like the most?
Uh-oh.
As the character?
Yes.
I was kind of surprised that Tara and, was it Elliot? Christian's character? I was kind of surprised that Tara and Elliot didn't get together.
Was one of those a black guy?
He was fantastic too. I love him. But you know, he was with the. Oh, I don't think I'm remember his name. Thank you. Yeah, Ian Parker had their little thing.
Yeah. Did you, so does it seem like in your resume, have you played a lot of lawyers?
Yes.
Yeah, what?
I played a shit ton of lawyers.
What?
Nice parenting skills, right? Sorry.
What is it about you and lawyers? What's you know?
I don't know. And look, lawyers or doctors in that sort of law capacity,
Yeah.
or people who decide to then run for some politician or blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's the that. Apparently, I look like a lawyer.
There you go.
I got nothing. Sorry.
Okay.
But I named 2 episodes.
I know that was good.
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing good. I wanted to ask kind of a 2-part question. Tell me how you got your background in singing, because we see some of that in Voyager.
Are we asking one part at a time? Okay. I was waiting for part 2.
Just where did that
I don't know. I did community theater
Okay.
growing up, and I always loved it. It was fun, and singing was part of it because most of the shows were musical. And I was always in choir at school and things like that. It was always fun.
Awesome. Well, you have a stunning voice. The first time it shows up on the show, we're like, whoa, did not see that coming. So my second part is, how on earth and whose idea was it to be doing Klingon drinking songs with a holographic doctor?
I don't know, but I strongly suspect that Bob Picardo, it was probably his. I think any episode that involved singing was probably Bob Picardo's
Yeah, because he's got a voice
thing.
too.
Because he loved it.
Thank you.
I appreciate, sir, that you are dressed as Assassin's Creed, because that was a very stealthy way of working in 2 questions. I'm on to you.
No,
Hi.
it's a single question.
Yeah.
It's in 2 parts.
Hi. Hello. We've enjoyed your work in many things other than Star Trek, but back to Star Trek.
Did I mention I remember 2 episode names?
Let's go for 3.
I was wondering if you had any thoughts or feelings, either at the time or now, about the fact that Voyager presented us with 2 very strong female leads in the form of Janeway and 7 of 9, and any thoughts or feelings about how that work presented, and for the relationship that was presented between Janeway and 7 of 9.
I mean, there certainly should be, a point of pride in the fact that you're part of this project that has these
Oh,
strong
absolutely.
women. Yeah.
Incredibly, 3 strong women.
Great,
Ilana Torres.
Ilana Torres.
Who's the engineer, the chief engineer. So yeah, that's one of the things, frankly, that attracted me to the roles, because it was such a strong representation, such a smart, come here for a second, badass character. And I love that about her, and I love that you had the female captain, you had the female chief engineer. Which gets to another point about costume that I've heard a lot about. That is the reason that I had no problem with the costume. I had no problem with it, honestly. Because it was the antithesis of anything this character was about. Completely. It was the complete dichotomy between this character and this physical appearance. And so I had no problem with that, because they're in real life, there are incredibly smart, incredibly capable, incredibly strong women in every potential physical representation. So why would you not see that on screen? So I had no problem with it at all. Because it could have been very gratuitous, and it could have been very... That's why I didn't like this. The one scene that I had a major hard time with was the Harry Kim take off your clothes scene.
Yeah.
Which I know is very popular, but that was so on the nose for me. But that's the only one that out of 4 years, 104 episodes? 103? 103, you're right. That was the only scene that I can point to and say, all right, that one I had a hard time with. The rest of it, she was so beautifully written, and so strong, and so just cool, and smart, and really cool. So I was proud to get to play.
Yeah.
I was lucky.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for mentioning
It's a really long answer. Long-winded answer.
Thank you for mentioning the costume, because that was an initial immediate turnoff, I think, for a lot of women that have feminist leanings. And yet as soon as you saw how the character was being portrayed, it was completely out.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Brian.
Hi, Brian.
Who was your favorite actor to play off on Leverage, and what was your favorite experience off filming that show?
I know, I can't pick a favorite. I can't pick, I mean, I love that Reese Rep because Parker is because she's like a dear friend, but they were so much fun. There's another group of people that were just so funny and goofy and cool, and that was a show that, you know, you can't wait to get the script and thumb through and say, well, who am I this week? You know, what am I doing now? Because it was I don't, for those of you not familiar with it, I played a grifter, which is like a thief who's kind of an actor. It's like always somebody different. You pretend to be somebody that you're not. And so it was really cool. It was really fun. And just a great group of people.
And what was your favorite experience?
I don't know. It was all fun. It was shooting in Portland, Oregon. And this was the first job that I did going back after maternity leave having my daughter. So my daughter is now 18 months old. I've got to milk maternity leave as long as you possibly can. And my first job was in Portland, and I was, oh my God, I was in my garden when my manager was sitting somewhere over there, called me and told me I got it, and I was like sobbing, Portland, I'm home, I'm staying with my baby. And it was an amazing, amazing, amazing experience. Actually, speaking of my daughter, this is a side note, sorry. I'm going off on a tangent for a minute. My daughter came to visit me, and I had made this sort of militant rule when she was born that she wasn't going to have refined sugar until she was 2. Arbitrarily, whatever. Anyway, wanted her to be healthy. So she came to visit me with the nanny one week, and we were walking on my day off down through, downtown Portland, and there was a little cupcake shop. And in the window, they had these beautiful cupcakes, and then the little miniature baby cupcakes next to it that matched. I said, why can't not get her a little matching cupcake? Can't get her a baby cupcake. So my little baby, who's, like 18 months old, was sitting there in her little stroller, and I gave her the cupcake, and she took one bite and growled at me. She growled. I'm not exaggerating. I was like, no more sugar! Anyway, sorry. That's my favorite story.
Thank you very much. I hope you have a pleasant stay on that.
You unleashed the sugar demon. Well, okay, after that then, how long before she got
Until she was
born?
2.
So you stuck
I waited
with it?
until she was 2. Yeah, I'm sorry. I knew I was right. I knew it. Anyway. Hi there.
Hi.
Hello, I'm Nora.
Hi, Nora.
Thanks for being here, Jerry.
Thank you.
I was wondering, one of the most powerful moments on Voyager for me were the Borg children, and I was wondering what it was like to work with such young actors who face a very similar journey to 7 of 9.
The kids were great. I mean, they were so professional and so well behaved, which is not necessarily always the case for child actors, as I'm sure you can imagine. But they were fantastic. They were so professional. They were such good kids off set and such good actors on set. And that was a really fun part of Humanity for 70 to explore. But they were great. You did notice that the Borg infant, though, that was in that original episode, just kind of disappeared. It was never mentioned again. I don't want to, babies, that's not happening. And it's a robot. It's like a little mechanical baby. They're like, no, too expensive to rent. We're not happy about it.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Jerry, and welcome to our land.
Thank
My
you.
name is Carol, and my question is, as an actor, how hard is it for you as playing Center 9? And then having, I'm sure you had other projects in between, going from her character to being, not that she wasn't human, because she was human, but she was made not human, to go into another role where you had to be totally human and leave 7 of 9 behind. How hard is that transition for an actor?
Well, I played 7 for 4 years. And that's a character that's very different from my personality. I don't know if you noticed that. So I think I had maybe a month or 2 before I went on to Boston Public, which was a David Kelly show, playing a high school teacher, lawyer turned high school teacher. So I had a little bit of a pause, but it was very strange because for 4 years, it was all the time very stiff and very serious and saying lows and no smiling, no laughing, no anything. And And then to get to just wear normal clothing was a real refreshing thing. To not have the same hairstyle every single day, it was kind of fun. And just to kind of have more of my own personality in the character, it was refreshing.
I just want to say thank you for giving all of it from Forge the opportunity to understand to be strong, beautiful, and intelligent. We thank you for that.
Thank you so much.
Well, I think she has an interesting point because when you're in that role, in that second skin of 709 for so long, you go on to the next job. Is there any kind of like almost actor detox to like shake it off that you had to undergo?
The biggest thing that was an adjustment on a different set, because it had been so long on that set. Star Trek takes itself very seriously. I mean, as a production. So you do not improvise. You do not go off script by a syllable. It's like they consider this like you're doing Shakespeare. And I'm not kidding. You literally do it verbatim the way it is scripted. Which is fine, and that was the experience, and I did it. And I was from the theater anyway, and that's what you feel like theater anyway, so wasn't a big deal. But then going to a set where people improv, it was like, what? No, oh no, I got the sides here, that is not so that was weird. That was very disconcerting and quite an adjustment to get used to. And not that sets that they improvise a lot is a big adjustment, but even just, they can kind of paraphrase things, and it's not like you have to be verbatim, syllable by syllable. So that took a little getting used to.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi. Is it a real baby or are you carrying a baby doll?
This is our baby, Jeri. This is our
That's weird. I specifically asked you not to get weird on me. You weren't even subtle about the weirdness. You just straight out, here's weird.
Abort baby that was missing.
Oh, there it is.
So you have a question, and I'm hoping it's also not weird.
I love you, Jeri. You're a wonderful actress, and I've seen you in all of your different shows. Of course, 7 of 9, is your iconic character. That Voyager returned home in our time 16 years ago, in 2001. What do you think 7 of 9 is doing 16 years after returning to Earth?
Oh, good question. I like that.
I have no idea.
Yeah, spitball. Is she like running a B&B somewhere?
Hotel off the countryside. No, I have no idea. She's probably had a nervous breakdown by now. I got nervous. But don't put me back. Let me go back.
She's like human enough that she's like, I want no part of this.
Yeah, this is crap. You guys are screwed that down here. I want to go back. No, I don't know. What do you think she's doing?
What'd you say?
Running a B&B.
Oh, running a B&B.
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
Singing at a piano bar.
A board and bed and board.
Bed and board. Howdy.
Hi.
Hi. Like you, I've been cursed with a perfect bass and a killer It's been difficult for me.
So much for not embarrassing Orlando.
You break through that superficial valuation as being treated as an object. How difficult was that in Hollywood to get past that and to follow a career that makes you happy?
I've always been very particular about what roles I would take, for a number of reasons, not just scheduling being part of it because I'm a mom, but character-wise, I wanted to play strong characters. I wanted them to be intelligent. I wanted them to be strong. I wanted to have somebody that I would be proud of my kids watching. Even before I had kids, of anybody's kids. I want young girls to be able to watch somebody who is a good example. If it's a one-off kind of thing, it's like an episode of something where it's a short little whatever, and she's a victim or she's whatever, that's okay, but on a series for potentially 7 years of your life, no, I was very specific about choosing characters that are strong, which is probably why I end up being lawyers all the time. Actually, now that I think about it, that's probably why. But yeah, I was very selective about what I was willing to audition for in the early days.
I mean, isn't it exciting right now for TV because you have so many great writers and great projects out there, but it's also, quite frankly, a shorter time commitment as far as it's shorter episode orders. You can do these like streaming network shows on Amazon.
It's a whole different animal now.
Yeah. Is that the kind of thing that makes it easier to be a mom and an actor at once because you can go do these things?
I think so. I mean, Bosch, I think you saw it was an Amazon series.
It's really good and you should check it out.
It's a really good show. It really legitimately is. I'm not just saying it, I was on part of it. That was my first experience with that, and it's very different. I mean, it's really, really, really different. Because they, not so much with Bosch, they didn't like extend the schedule, but a lot of these shows, because they have much shorter episode runs. We did Voyager, it was 26 episodes in a season.
Yeah.
So you basically had a 2-month hiatus. That was it. And now an episode, or a season of most shows is like 6 or 8 or maybe 10. So it's very, very different. And a lot of them can make little movies, basically. They can stretch the shooting schedule as long as they need to because they've got the luxury of time. And the writers have the luxury of time. We shot the entire season of Bosch, and then it didn't drop for like 6 months or something crazy, or 4 months. And then it all, they did the entire season at once.
Yeah.
And people binge watch it in a day and a half. So I think it's better creatively for the writers and for them. But yeah, I think schedule-wise it's easier.
Yeah. It's cool. It's an exciting time.
Yeah.
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
So one of the fun things I think for Star Trek is with alien races and holodecks and whatnot, you can have any kind of story really happen.
Yeah.
And I remember when the promo for this one originally ran, I was rolling my eyes, and I'm not going to watch that episode, but it ended up being pretty good, and the actor that you got to co-star with has kind of come out as more of a goofy kind of actor. What was it like sparring with Dwayne Johnson?
The Rock! That is so funny because the first time I met him, I didn't know who he was. First time I met him was at a fight rehearsal. So before we started shooting, so we had to do all the training and stuff like that. And he walks in and they're like, oh, this is Dwayne. He said, I'm Dwayne. Just a sweet downer, just very gentle little guy. Like, I'm Dwayne, whatever. And we did our fights and whatever, and we shot, he was great. I knew that all the prosthetic makeup artists, all the guys, and were all excited that the Rock was there. And his last day shooting, after my last scene with him, he left me a signed picture, that's of him as The Rock, saying, "The Rock smells what you're cooking." And the makeup artist like, oh my God, no, it's The Rock! Man, he smells what you're cooking, that's his thing! Okay. But he was so not that guy. He was really, really sweet.
I want that picture to still exist somewhere. Just tweet it out and be like, oh, I finally get the joke now.
Hi. So I know fairly recently you've played a couple episodes on the TV show Major Crimes, and going along with your theme of picking strong female characters, that show has a history of very strong female characters and cast. What was it like coming into that show with that history going on? Did you feel a part of it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's another. They're just great people, and Mary is lovely. And, it's a very welcoming group, and the executive producer James Scott, the creator of the show, is a dear friend. And, so that was an easy one to walk into, and Jonathan DeLargo, who plays oh my God, I played one. Is that what I call it? Medical examiner. Thank you. Wow. But I remember to.
You got two.
I got that. Is a dear friend, and so that was an easy one to step into. So it's fun. But they're again strong, really well written women.
Second question. question. Are you going to do that again?
What, Major Crimes?
Yes.
If they call me, yeah. Because it's always fun. I love that show. I love those people. It's a fun character to play.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry about the second question.
He's giving you stink eyes. Oh, look at him giving you stink eye. He smells what you're cooking.
Well, literally, you are a chef. You love cooking,
I'm not
right?
a chef. My husband is a chef. I'm a cook.
You're a cook, okay. So maybe that's what The Rock was talking about.
Oh,
Did you
God, now I
literally-
get it. He just knew.
He knew.
Yeah,
It's all
that makes
full
sense.
circle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello, Ms. Ryan. My name is Sean.
Hi, Sean.
Hi. There we go. Perfect. Now you said my name. Everything I just go away.
That's it. I really had a question. Thank you.
Yeah. You've talked about some of your female roles. You've had some of the strengths in that. If you had been as successful as an actor or an actress, what do you think you'd be doing instead? And you can't cop out saying a mother.
Well, no, I'm doing that anyway, but I am. But I would be in science in some capacity. Because when I was deciding what I was going to major on in college, it was deciding between theater or biomedical engineering. For real.
Now, how's that for opposites?
So I would be in, I don't know what specifically I would be in science, but I would be something in
Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
National Merit Scholar, baby!
Where would I want? Hi.
Hi, hello, Miss Ryan. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
So I want to know, how do you stay so beautiful and in such great shape when your husband is a French chef?
Well, I had to put a moratorium on the lunches, for one thing, because, you know, when you're an actor, and especially when you're on a series, which I'm not now, but I was, and your clothes are tailored once, and you have to stay into those clothes that are tailored for the whole season. And so you can't fluctuate, you kind of stay the same size, which, I mean, I'm lucky I've got good genes, thank you, parents. So it's not that big a struggle, but for a while there, it was lunch, like full-on meal, like lunch and dinner every day. And I was like, okay, when our daughter's home and my son's home, we'll have family lunches, but otherwise, no. Full dinner's great, but oh my God, it was like, no, it's a lot of food. Amazing, it's fantastic, but it's a lot of food.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you ever find yourself in a situation where co-stars are sort of angling to come over for dinner? So, you guys want to make me some dinner?
We have a lot of that, actually.
Yeah.
But oddly enough, because he's a French chef, too, he's a Frenchman, with all that that entails, to be a French chef.
Yeah.
We don't get a lot of invitations to people's houses, interestingly.
Yeah, I wonder why.
That's
Yeah.
so fun.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Jen.
Hi, Jen.
So, 7 of 9 had great storylines and had a lot of them had just awesome stories and episodes, but was there any aspect of her that you wish was explored more, or like an episode that hadn't been written that you wish kind of was?
That's a really good question, but honestly, no. I mean, I'm really trying to think, and I can really say, they covered pretty much everything that I wanted to cover with her, I think. And some people have said that they wanted to see what happened after they got back to Earth. But I kind of didn't. I don't want to see her, okay, she's a housewife, she's married to Chakotay, I don't want to see that. But seriously, I mean, the interesting part of the character for me was that journey from being a Borg to learning to be a human being.
Yeah.
And I think once she completed that journey, and she did, I think, I don't think there was anything that was really left unexplored. For me. I mean, you guys think was there something you wanted to see?
No, I agree.
You're like, no, God, no!
I mean, I would never say no to more episodes.
But I mean, she was so beautifully, she really was so beautifully developed. And I really, honestly, cannot think of anything else that I would have wished had been covered.
That's a unique and rare thing as a performer, that you can pack up that character and put it away and be satisfied.
Yes, truly rare and unique.
Yeah.
Very, very, very unusual. In the whole 103 episodes, there are 2 things that I think were a mistake. 2, 3 missteps with that character. And that's really it. Most characters you have to, because it's a team of writers, directors rotate, so you don't have the same director every time. So you kind of have to be the guardian of your character, to keep your character true. From script to script, to keep it consistent and whatever. But I really did not have to do that with setup. The only, and I can list them for you right now, the only 3, I think, missteps. They started, okay, resistance is futile is the first one, that's kind of the biggie. Because I didn't know what the Borg were, so they gave me a copy of First Contact to watch. And said, okay, ignore that, we're not doing that. It's not like this, it's not the Borg Queen, she's not a crazy Borg Queen, it's not this typical drone. We're doing something different, but here's what the Borg are. And they gave me the Locutus episode. And said, don't do that, we're not doing that, but you know, this is just who they are. Okay. And so then my first script comes out and it says, resistance is futile. So I said, now, I should say futile, right? Because the voice of the collective says resistance is futile. They go, oh, no, that's just because Patrick had a British accent. You say futile. And I was like,
doesn't sound
sure.
right.
I'm like, no, that's just because Patrick had a British accent. The voice of the damn hive mind says futile. Every single time.
Yes.
So you guys sold me out. That was a big glaring mistake right out of the box. But anyway, you know, minor in the grand scheme of things, but still. So that was the first one. The second one was which they corrected on their own pretty rapidly. We started getting Seven too human too quickly. So if you go back and rewatch it, the very earliest episodes of her in the silver suit, when she's, you know, agreed to like be part of the crew or learn to be part of the crew, she was a lot freer and a lot more sort of expressive in the early episodes than she was later. Because it just, I think we all at the same time kind of went, ooh, that's too fast. We gotta pull that back or we're not gonna have anywhere to go. And so I don't think it was, I don't remember, maybe it was a drastic thing. I don't think it was, but they just started bringing her back in. So that it was more gradual progression. And the third one was, do you remember there was an episode where Seven was fantasizing on the holodeck and like practicing dating, and she kind of fell in love with Chakotay, with the holodeck Chakotay.
Yeah. What was the name of that one?
I don't know.
That's old.
In that unnamed episode. The very next one that we shot was Seven and Chakotay like crash landed on the shuttlecraft or something, crashed on an island on a planet, and they were like stranded together or something.
Yeah.
And so I specifically asked, and I'm pretty sure Robert did as well, we specifically asked the producers, okay, now we should carry this on, right? I mean, his character wouldn't really, because he wasn't aware of it, because he was a holodeck simulation. But I should be carrying this through. It's a storyline that makes sense for the characters. They said, oh, no, we're not going anywhere with that. Just leave, don't play that. I said, okay, whatever, I'm carrying it through. Cut to final episode. Oh, Seven and Chakotay are dating. Oh, they get married. Which is fine, and I've had people complain about that it wasn't Seven the Doctor, which does, granted, make sense. But it would have been perfectly fine and made perfect sense had that been played. Because that should have been an undercurrent, for my character at least, for that whole time. But then since they specifically said no, and then at the last minute they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna put them together. That just felt like a missed opportunity. So I guess if there was anything that was a missed opportunity, it was that.
Yeah.
But those are literally, in that many episodes, are the only 3 things that I can point at and say, okay, that was a goof, that was a goof, that was a goof.
Yeah.
That was it, and that's pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
That is impressive, yeah. So I think we are running down on time. I think we have time for one more question.
Sorry,
so it's going to be you.
today.
So you are up.
Hello? Okay. So, I'm assuming you remember Captain Proton holodeck. Okay, so Seven was in there like once, and she beat up a robot in 10 seconds, and this seems completely pointless and left. So, would you have enjoyed like putting on some sort of costume and playing a character that owns half the galaxy in that of like a situation like that?
Would Seven have enjoyed it?
Yeah, but would you have? I mean, I'm pretty sure Seven would not have enjoyed it.
Seven would have enjoyed it. But, and you mean a simulation like that? Would
would you like play a part like that if you got to like where you own half the galaxy?
Do you want to own half the galaxy?
Why not? Sure, what the heck? No, not in real life, I do not.
The maintenance fees on the galaxy are astronomical.
Yeah, the garden loan or the water.
Yeah.
Forget it. Sure. You're fun to play.
Cool.
Well, that was a really anticlimactic answer. Sorry, guys. That was fun. Okay.
MegaCon, you're awesome. Please give it up for the very awesome Jeri.